Sharks. Of all the predators in the sea, they're the ones that everybody fears the most. And it's no wonder, sharks are the sea's top predators, and when humans enter the water, they become a part of the food chain. Known as the crown jewel of the Yucatan Peninsula, Cancún, Mexico is known for being one of the most popular as well as beautiful vacation destinations in the world. Around 10 million people visit these crystal clear waters each year, and some people only come here to encounter the area's incredible wildlife. From gentle but docile whale sharks that are known to migrate these waters yearly, to having two of the world's most dangerous sharks, Tenacious bulls, and opportunistic tigers. Despite the variety of sharks here, there really hasn't been any serious interactions between humans and sharks. Mother of two Nicole Moore is here in Cancun for a stress-free getaway with a bunch of fitness friends.
Halfway through the vacation, the girls decided that they wanted to go shopping. I like shopping, but it's not my favorite activity, so I said, great, have fun, off you go. I had a scuba dive trip booked for noon that day.
So to pass the time, Nicole plays volleyball.
My team was winning when I decided I needed to rinse off and get ready. I was standing in the water waist deep, just shaking off the sand. Off in the distance were a couple of people on jet skis. They were just wild, they were crazy. And yelling, and they're yelling at me. They were speaking Spanish. They were yelling at the top of their voice something Tibetan. But I didn't want to cause any trouble, so I put my hand up and turned around to head back to shore. As I stepped forward, I felt this bump. My first thought was, please let that be a snorkel, or let it be a child that I didn't see. But seconds later, the pain was unbelievable. I saw this ocean fill bright, bright red.
Now surrounded in the pool of her own blood, Nicole is now oblivious to the shark's whereabouts. And just seconds after biting a huge chunk out of her left thigh, the shark returns.
It swallowed my entire arm. Its eyes right above my elbow, and its bottom jaw, the bottom part of my elbow, just swallowed it whole. The shark's eyes were deep and black and cold. There's no type of emotion behind them. I drop my right hand and I smack it right down on the nose of the shark. I pulled my arm out at the same time. Then it swam away. My blood is pouring into this ocean. I'm thinking, is the shark going to come back? Is this how my children are going to lose their mother?
One of the jet skiers from earlier rushes to Nicole's aid.
I screamed, you need to help me. We were able to grab just fingertips. I held on for dear life, and he just dragged me up the beach.
Nicole is bleeding to death, but the bystanders are too shocked by her massive wounds to really do anything.
I found the strength to raise up enough to take a look at this massive bleeding hole in my leg, just gone. I looked over to my left arm. I could see this arterial spray, about a 4-inch spurt of blood with every pump of my heart.
So Nicole takes charge of her own first aid.
I was saying to the people that were there, don't let me fall asleep. All of a sudden, I'd felt these warm, ginormous hands slamming down on my leg. This gentleman put pressure on my leg to stop the arterial bleed. He's laying his hands on raw flesh and blood to stop bleeding for a perfect stranger.
It takes nearly 25 minutes before an ambulance finally arrives to bring Nicole to the nearest ER. One of her friends had found the 11-inch piece of flesh that the shark had torn off of her thigh.
The shark bite took out 2 of my quadriceps and 2 of the 3 hamstrings of my leg. My arm was still attached, but it was absolutely just shredded.
It takes 9 hours for Mexican surgeons to save her life. But only 4 days later, she's airlifted back to her home in Toronto, Canada, where doctors inspect her wounds.
The surgeon opened up my leg dressing. I saw horrible, grotesque stuff oozing out of my leg, and then she opened up the dressing to my arm. She immediately, stone cold, said to her team, "We're going right now to a Class A OR." The arm was so badly infected, just kept eating away all the tissues.
Sharks of all species have mouths filled with bacteria, including Pseudomonas, which is resistant to penicillin. Infection from a shark bite can be just as lethal as a loss of blood. And now Nicole's arm is so badly infected that doctors are forced to amputate.
When I woke up, she had said if you had arrived 24 hours later, you'd be dead.
The tragedy is that this attack could have all been avoided. The men on the jet ski were actually trying to drive away 2 reported sharks that were seen near a neighboring resort, where the beaches had been cleared. So this attack was really just a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Authorities blame the attack on bull sharks, which are known to come close to shore. But Nicole thinks otherwise.
Every picture I have looked at of a bull shark, I say, that's not it. I look at tiger sharks, and I say, that's the shark. That's the shark that I was looking at eye to eye.
This huge striped shark lives in temperate and tropical seas around the world. Females can get as big as 18 feet, while males tend to max out at around 14 feet. Experts believe that these sharks are more nocturnal and tend to come into shallow waters at night. Tigers are usually solitary animals, but they will form into groups when feeding on a carcass. These sharks' young are born live in giant litters that can range in size from 10 to 82 pups. Tiger sharks are famous for eating pretty much anything in sight, from shark pups, sea turtles, marine mammals, sea snakes, birds, dead animals, and even garbage. They've been found with nails, tires, and license plates in their stomachs. Tiger sharks are listed as near threatened because they get caught in fishing nets and are hunted for their fins.
The night of my attack, the Mexican Coast Guard went into the water. They apparently killed 70 sharks. I couldn't understand how they could kill 70 sharks in Cancun. How many sharks are in the water? I was angry at the whole thing. The shark was just doing what they instinctively know what to do. It's very hard to think about the beach and how things could have gone differently and my kids could have lost their mother. But I wasn't going to let that happen. I fought that. I fought that hard. Most people say I'm unlucky because I was attacked by a shark, but honestly, I'm a lucky woman.